Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Stanley from Value Invest Asia. I just want to thank you guys for all the comments on our video number 1 where we talk about my 5 golden rules to investing. These are 5 golden rules that I myself have come up with based on a lot of my mistake and experience from investing in the stock market over the past 10 years. And I really hope that it has helped you guys. So just to recap on our 5 golden rules, they are: number 1, that we have to understand that we have to focus only on the fundamentals of the business. Always look at how the business is rather than what the stock price is doing. Number 2, it's to know that valuation is only a guide, because valuation is only as good as what the valuer is doing, right? And number 3, try to stay away from bad management and especially main shareholders who do not have interests aligned with minority shareholders like ourselves, right? Number 4, always invest for the long term. If we have a longer horizon, we tend to be able to see ourselves picking great companies that can follow us and grow their business over long term. And lastly, number 5, know yourself, right? When we are investing, it's a very personal thing, and to find stocks that you yourself is comfortable with and confident in, then you will be able to hold on to that stock for a long time and not to get panicked whenever there's a crisis or trouble in the company, right? If you want to know more about what we talk about in our first video, do just click down below on the button and view our first video number 1, right? As promised, today we're going to talk about our first watch list stock for 2018, which is Tencent Holding. This is in conjunction with our 2018 grand webinar, which we are planning right now. We're just at the final stage and we're really excited about it. During that event, we're going to launch our full watch list 2018, which is the top 10 Asian stocks to watch in 2018, right? But on top of that, what is more important is we want to build a community of value investor around Asia from our readership base. We want to build a like-minded community where people can exchange ideas and share ideas together and challenge each other on their ideas so that we can grow together. This is very personal to me because as an investor, when I'm starting out in investing, I was an engineer and I don't have any friends who are investors. So it's a very lonely process. But only when after I get to know my co-founders of Value Invest Asia, the 2 of them, it's when I started to be able to grow as an investor very quickly. That's because I was able to see where my ideas is wrong or where my ideas can be improved, or I just learned more about investing from the 2 of them. And so we really believe that having a strong community of investors together can really bring our investing skill to the next level, and we're really excited to build that community for you, right? So if you do not know who am I, just to let you know, my name is Stanley. I'm the editor of valueinvestasia.com. Most of you are familiar with our site where we produce a company analysis for many companies listed across Asia, mostly in the Malaysian, Singapore, Hong Kong, and the China A shares market, right? I'm also the co-writer of Value Investing in Asia. It's a book that we just launched last month, and we talk about how to apply the concept of value investing right here in Asia. Right, going to our watch list 2018 stock number 1. Tencent Holding. This is actually a company that is currently my largest shareholdings, right? I have owned Tencent, I think, since 2 years ago. It has done tremendously well, and to be honest, even after the huge rally, I'm still very optimistic about this company, right? For those who are not familiar with this company, just to take a step back and understand the history of this company, Tencent Holding is actually founded back in 1998, right? It's a company in China, and they started off as instant messaging on the desktop, their QQ Messenger. If you remember during the 90s, if you're still fortunate enough to remember ICQ, right? that is the beginning of instant messaging on the desktop, right? I remember having an ICQ account and spending hours talking to my friends online. QQ is basically more or less a copycat of ICQ, but based in China because they wanted to do it for the China market, right? But unlike ICQ, which went on to be bought over and slowly die a slow death, QQ managed to diversify itself, right, into gaming and into other social media. And now today, Tencent Holding, which own QQ, is the largest tech company in China, right? They are one of the BATs, the BAT in China, Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent. Right, today Tencent have a market cap, I think, more than US 500 billion in market cap, and they are most popular for their two social media platforms in China, WeChat and QQ. And Tencent really have a strong track record, both in terms their financially and also their usership base. Their financial, if you compare their financials since 2001 to 2016, that's about the 15-year period, their revenue has been growing 71% year after year. Their net profit is also up 75% year after year. And even for the last 5 years, their revenue is still growing about 40% per year, and their earnings is growing around 31% a year. So this is a company that, even though it is such a large technology juggernaut in China, it is still growing rapidly. And they're doing that with many new platforms that's coming out, and they are finding new ways to monetize their existing platform like QQ and WeChat. Just even if you compare it to their last quarter result in Q3 2017, their revenue is still growing about 57% from year on year, and their net profit has grew close to 70% year after year. So that's really a huge jump that this company is still continuously growing for their shareholders. Okay, so how does Tencent really make its money, right? It's actually have four main stream of revenue right now. Their online gaming, which is mainly through QQ. Their social network, where they have advertising and also value-added services for that. Those are in mainly QQ and WeChat. They are also have starting to grow very quickly their e-commerce transactional, mainly through WeChat Pay, right? But what most people do not know that actually Tencent is more than just WeChat and QQ. They are also the #1 news portal online in China. They are the #1 video streaming. So if you think Netflix, the #1 Netflix type of services in China is actually QQ. They have music streaming. So if you're talking about Spotify, QQ Music is actually the #1 music streaming platform in China. They have online publishing literature, which is their WeRead, where writers can publish books directly onto their platform, and readers can buy books directly on their platform as well. So they own a wide range of services where they're actually the #1 or #2 player in China. They are interestingly also the #1 mobile browser and mobile security company in China, and also interestingly they're #1 app store in China. So unlike what we have here, where app store are mostly dominated by Apple App Store and also Google Play, in China they have hundreds of different type of app store around, and Tencent App Store is actually the #1 app store in China, right? And right now, how they generate their revenue is #1 from value-added services, which includes their social network, monthly subscription sometimes for their premium service and item purchase, or also their online games where you can have a monthly subscription, and when you buy virtual items online for your game, that is their main base revenue, where it takes up about 65% of their revenue, right? They also have a very strong growing online advertising. through their platform, because now their platform is relatively very, very big, and that is pushing more and more advertising through their platform. And lastly, the fastest growing one for them is online payment, where through WeChat Pay, they are now growing, becoming more dominant in China, fighting Alipay directly, and their transactional based revenue is growing very, very rapidly. Right? So what is Tencent trying to achieve here? I think what they're trying to achieve here is they're trying to become the platform of choice through their different services and social media, and even the music platform or video platform. They want to become the #1 platform of choice in China, and maybe in the future around the world, right? That can be their mission in the future. But by being the platform of choice, they are able to tie up with a lot of other merchants who want to provide services or products to their users. These merchants end up having no choice but having to partner with WeChat or QQ, which is all under Tencent's platform, right? We have already seen, like, if you are content provider like HBO, or game producer like Electronic Arts, or music companies, you have to partner with Tencent in order to help you distribute your content into China. It's very hard for foreign companies to come into China and directly sell their products or services to the Chinese consumer, and partnering with Tencent is the great way to do it. And since Tencent have all the platform, #1 platform in China, they end up having a great pricing power over all this merchant, right? And also they are able to integrate the entire process, right? From shopping, even from online and offline shopping. If you go to a shopping center, you are able to make payment for your offline purchase with WeChat Pay, or you are able to browse offline but are able to buy it online from their store within WeChat, or from any other e-commerce store that is integrated with WeChat Pay. And also more and more, now we are starting to see Tencent is becoming a dominant venture capitalist in China. They are funding and looking at more and more companies that they can invest in, mostly tech companies that they can invest in to help them both grow and diversify its business, and also help this new company to grow themselves. So what they can do is they can, after investing, say they make a big investment in JD.com, which is a e-commerce retailer in China. And once they are invested in JD.com, they are able to bring JD products and services onto their WeChat platform and introduce JD to their huge user base, and also integrating the payment within it, so it becomes very seamless for you to buy products from JD.com through WeChat. And we are starting to see more and more of that happening. Tencent is a majority investor in their ride-hailing services like Didi Chuxing, and you can basically call a cab or a ride directly on your WeChat Pay. So in conclusion, we really see that Tencent, although they are already big, that they are still a very fast-growing company because of its dominant platform that it has across different services. And their user base is very sticky, right? In QQ, once you are playing games and all your friends is on the platform playing games with you, you tend to be sticking together on that platform rather than moving to another platform. And for Tencent to grow, all they have to do is just find more merchants, find more products onto the platform, and they're able to grow it both from an advertising standpoint and also from the transactional fees that they can get when people transact through the WeChat Pay. So if you think of all the great companies in the West like Facebook, Netflix, maybe Google, Amazon, PayPal, right? All these companies in the West, when it comes to China, it's actually all combined into Tencent's holding. And it's really not an exaggeration. It's really, Tencent is more or less the combination of all these companies combined. Tencent is investing heavily in the region, Southeast Asia region, where they want to replicate what they have achieved in China in the Southeast Asia region. So all these are growth potential for the company, right? Of course, there's some risk with this company, right? It's already such a big company, so it might not continue to grow so rapidly down the road in the next 10 years. And also, when they are so dominant and has so much data in their database, they might become a target for the Chinese government. And if there's any severe intervention from the government, that could affect Tencent very directly and very dramatically. So that's our view on Tencent's holdings. It's currently my personal largest shareholding, and I'm definitely still optimistic about the company for many years to go. I understand that many investors do not like to invest in large cap companies because they tend to have this notion that large cap companies, blue chip companies, no longer has any value for investors because it's already fully priced. But interestingly, from our experience, that's not really the case, right? If you have bought great companies who are already market leaders, say 20 years ago, even in Singapore and Malaysia, like Public Bank, or bought into OCBC, Raffles Place, or Nestle Malaysia, over the past 20 years, if you have bought this company who are already market leaders 20 years ago, you still have made, I think, at least 10 times your money over the past 20 years in any of these companies, right? That's because the simple fact that good companies and great companies will continue to grow by themselves because the management is optimistic and the management is talented enough to bring the company to the next level. Similarly, in Tencent's holding example, since IPO in 2004, this company has actually returned more than 550 times. So that's 55,000% in return to the shareholders. So sure, you can have a riskier small cap stock within your portfolio, but if you're a long-term investor, we really believe to have a strong core, stable growth company such as Tencent in your portfolio that can really help you reduce risk in your portfolio in the entirety. Right, that's all for our watch list stock number 1, right? Share with us your opinion on the company and what's your question about the company down below on our comments tab below. Right, we have one more video coming up for you. Do watch out for it. It will be coming out in 2 days time. We're going to talk about our watch list number 2. And this company, interestingly, is also a large technology company, but it might not be one that many people are familiar with. It is not a company like Apple, Facebook, or Tencent or Alibaba, where it faces the consumer directly. This is a company that helps all these companies become a possibility. This is a company that helps enable the whole internet to thrive. And this company has a great and amazing story. Its net margin until today is still consistently above 30%, right? And it is free cash flow positive, and its net income has been compounding at 30% per annum since 1991. And this is one company that we are really optimistic about, and we'll share with you in 2 days time. So if you have any question about Tencent holding or just investing in general, do ask us on the comment down below, and we'll definitely be trying to answer as many of them as possible for you. So remember to watch your email in 2 days time. We'll come up with our video number 3. I'll see you then.